Today, we're starting Minecraft together, except it's hardcore. This means if we die, we lose the world, and that's already happened to me several times. We've previously survived for almost 200 days, where we terraformed an entire island by hand. We built some interesting and overpowered farms, but we ran into some challenges which resulted in us dying stupidly. And now we're going to do it all again, but this time we have a better plan. See, I love Lord of the Rings and I love fantasy dwarven culture, so today we're going to get started on building our new dwarven empire. Taking what we've learned previously, we're going to scale up our adventure, so strap yourself in for one epic ride that we're going to take together. So as we jump into this series, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Let's get into it. Attempt 2, it would help if I could English today. 1.20 world, and then we're going to go ahead, hit hardcore, just making sure that we're not using any game rules or any seeds. Everything's absolutely fine and dandy. So we're going to go ahead and press create world. Well, we're in a normal biome, it looks like. Wait, is this a normal biome? Oh, is this a spruce biome? Is this the best biome you could possibly spawn in? I was actually really hoping to find some of these really early on. It is spruce. I thought it was. I recognize the leaf pattern. This is great because I really want to use this type of wood in my future builds because I know exactly what we're going to do in this world. My character is actually based on a sort of fantasy dwarf. Underneath this jacket, which I actually have been meaning to remove, is a dwarf skin. Now, I am actually thinking about changing my Minecraft skin, but I've used this for so many years now that I feel like I might as well just keep it. But yeah, so I actually really love all things dwarf, and that's what we're going to be doing in this series. We're going to be building a bunch of cool dwarven structures, and in order to actually go ahead and do this, now I have just found some sheep, and I'm getting distracted because I'm going to go smack the sheep. One sheep down. 2 sheeple. 3 sheeple, so we can actually sleep in our hardcore world on day 1. But this is not what we're going to be doing because we need to find a hill to build a nice dwarven city inside of. So we're going to go on an adventure and we're going to go and find a dwarven hill. Now, I actually just realized I needed to come back and actually get a spruce sapling because before we actually adventure anywhere, we might end up miles away from any sort of spruce saplings. So if we're going to want to actually build stuff out of spruce, we're going to need saplings. So I came back and I quickly got some, and now we can actually go on our adventure. I think we're also going to tick off another thing really early on in our bucket list, and I think we're going to go and get ourselves some kelp so we can actually use this down the line, and it'll be super helpful for building some really early game elevators and things. Oh, I'm going to drown. I need to come back up. Oh, I should pay attention when I'm on hardcore. This is how I've died in the past. Oh, no. Spawned on some kind of island, and we're going to need to get off this island if we're going to want to get anywhere. But it looks like we're actually going to need to craft a very quick pickaxe because we are starving to death, and we have a little bit of mutton that we can eat. So we want to go ahead and build a furnace so we can actually cook this meat and we can survive, basically. Cool, nice. That was so much more coal than I was anticipating to get. This means we can actually make a bunch of torches, which is going to be really useful for when we actually finally come to build our base. So what we're going to do is we're going to craft a furnace real quick, and I actually realized that I should probably enable this just for very quick casting. I always forget about that. I even forgot about that on my hardcore skyblock world. We only need 1. We probably could have even used logs for this, but it would have been way more efficient. But we're not really bothered about efficiency because it looks like the sun is going to be setting very soon on day number 1 in our Minecraft world. So let's make a bed and get ready for nighttime. And the sun sets and the Aurora Borealis comes out to play. I actually enabled the shader pack to activate this every night because I just think it just looks so goddamn beautiful. I love it. And I think it's going to really add to that whole sort of fantasy kind of surreal effect on a nighttime in our world. And we found some sugar cane. We had pumpkins over there. This is really shaping up to be one of the best starts that we've probably ever had in hardcore Minecraft so far. I see mountains. The mountains are calling me home. Let's head over there. Wow, this looks really cool. Could this be it? Could this be where we build our base? Ooh, I like this. I like this like pillar here. This could like look really cool by like supporting a I really like this. I want to check the surrounding areas. We may have found our base. Whilst we wait for this beef to cook, I'm going to take in our surroundings. I'm going to try turning up the render distance. This may cause a little bit of lag, which I apologize for in advance. But I really want to check out the surrounding areas and really want to see what it looks like. So this may lag my machine because my computer is really old and it's not very cool. But this is looking epic. I'm loving the river that kind of runs around the whole... I think it runs around the whole mountain. Yep, I absolutely love this. This is our base. If I have to spend hours bringing a villager over here to make my own kind of villager breeder in this area and then have to do everything else after that, then so be it, because I just love this place too much. Like, I really love the idea of kind of having this whole dwarven entrance into a giant base that's just going to look, you know, super cool. It's going to be a lot of digging and a lot of machining and stuff, which I think is beautiful for the kind of vibe that we're going for in this world. So yeah, let's get to work starting our first base. So the first thing I think we're going to do in our quest to open up this area is to first dig up all this dirt, because we're going to need it to take underground with us so we can actually make our own area, our own farms underground. So we're going to need to dig up this dirt and take it with us, and we want to get rid of the dirt in our entrance because we want it to be a whole hall of stone in our new Dwarven Empire. So let's get rid of this dirt. Roll the time lapse. I was just in the middle of like doing this time lapse of digging all of this out, and there's a wandering trader sat right in our base. I probably shouldn't have done that. What's he got to sell? He's got blue ice, but unfortunately we've got no way of buying it. That blue ice would have been super useful early on. Oh well, that's a shame. Back to terraforming, I suppose. Okay guys, so we've finished digging out the area for now, but I have sort of realized that I do want to make it just a couple of blocks lower. So I'm going to go ahead and get this done real quick, and we're going to dig it down a few more blocks to this layer, just because we don't want to be too high off the ground, but we do want to be like a little bit off the ground to give it that kind of mountain feeling. But I'm kind of thinking the higher we are from like the base level and the ground level, the more we've actually got to mine down. And the idea that I've got in my head for how I want to design the entranceway, we're going to be doing a lot of mining in the very beginning. So I actually just want to dig a few more blocks down on the outside, make this place look really cool. What the heck? There's a second one showed up. I didn't even know this was possible. And he's selling blue. Wait, the other one disappeared. Was he even here at all? That's enough to send somebody crazy. If it was much later in the night, I would be seriously freaked out by that. What the actual heck? Anyway, we're almost done. We're not too far off. It's just taken a while because we're only using a stone pickaxe. So we'll be back. We finally dug down to the level that I'm happy at. We also want to make sure that we actually get some progress in before the end of this video. So looking at this, we want it to be quite tall. The entranceway is probably going to go up to just about where that copper ore is, which I understand that makes this a very tall entranceway, but I've looked up a few images and I kind of feel like it's what I've wanted to go for. So we're going to dig out the first layer, and then I'm going to show you kind of what we're going to do, because we're going to make it like maybe only like 3 or 4 blocks deep. But if we dig too far into the hill, we're actually going to come out on the other side, because although this hill is quite tall, it's not very... Okay, so I've accidentally dug it out a bit lopsided. So I'm going to build up these cobble pillars, and we'll be back. Right, the stone is now finished, so we just need to free up a little bit of space. So this is where we actually start to make a little bit of progress in terms of actually getting into our base, because we just need to put the dirt in here, maybe all the little extra bits that we're not going to need just yet. Let's put the kelp and the saplings, because all we're going to need is a few building blocks and some tools for this next bit, and we're going to need as much inventory space as possible. So let's get the stone. Now what we need to do is make our way back up here again. I am not very good at building, by the way, so please bear with me as we we're going to be doing this together as like a community, so please feel free to leave any comments down below on what you think I could do to improve this build. Building really bamboozles my brain on a serious level. I think we'll actually bring this out 2 levels, because the whole kind of column is 2 blocks, so we're gonna have to build up again so that we can get in here. We make this look a lot better in time, but I think for now this will absolutely do. It looks really basic but really cool. I'm super happy with it. We need to go and put some bricks on the top, some brick stairs on the top of the cobble up there, and we've got a few more decorative things that we can kind of do. But for now, what I want to do is I want to go ahead and dig out about 3 more blocks in that direction through this whole thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to go right up to the wall, and we're going to dig up again, and we've got enough pickaxes, I think. So let's super time-lapse this once again. So we actually dug into a small cave which was full of zombies and creepers. So what I want to do is I actually just want to make a piece of iron armor to give us just a little bit of armor, so that we have some protection. Now this actually ends about here, so what we're going to want to do is dig down in 1 block increments in every block going forward from this point, and that's how we're going to end up digging down to the right level. But obviously, as you can see, the hole in front, there is zombies in there, so as soon as I do this, they're going to start coming through, and we have to now kill them without taking damage. And there is creepers down there, so we are going to have to go in there, unfortunately. Wait, no. Is that drip? That's amazing. I love that we found dripstones so soon. Oh, this is that's a lot of copper. What the heck? And that's emerald? I think it's going to look really, really cool if we kind of have this like outline going on that we build out of cobble, so that it matches the rest of the building architecture. And then what we do on the stairway bit is we keep the same outline going. So we do cobble stairs going down on the outsides like so that it would look something like this, and then we fill the actual inside with normal brick stairs, so it carries on that pattern. I mean, what do you guys think? I think this is probably a really cool thing. Yeah, I like it. I think there's probably a better way we can do this, but I really, really like this. Oh, that was close. I was digging down just to kind of gauge how deep we're going to have to dig, and look what we dug into. This is insane. I don't even know if I want to utilize this as a base or not. I mean, I feel like it's probably going to save us a lot of mining. I do have other ideas to kind of like build up a base, but as like a starting thing where we can kind of like, you know, build up some farmland and kind of like it can be like a progression, like early game can be kind of like living out of a cave, and then we can kind of like upgrade it over time. That's all. That's yeah. Yeah, because then what we can do is we can actually use this and we can square out this area. Then we can have a turn in the stairway and come down, and then we could dig up the other side and come up the other way. So we've got like 2 entrances down to like a main stairway that goes down, and eventually we can like clear all this area out. Oh yeah, that's definitely a plan. That's what we're gonna do 100%. So we've added a little decoration to the top just to kind of finish it off. I still think it needs like some work doing in the cobble area. I feel like we need to add some sort of pattern and texture to the cobble at the top and maybe going up. So if you've got any ideas, please feel free to leave them in the comments. But so far, I'm absolutely chuffed with this entrance. So let me see if I can get a good angle. I might have to use the replay mod to get a good thumbnail of this, because this just is not doing it any justice at all. But just looking at the time that we've been playing today, we're actually on the 3-hour mark, pretty much, and that's 3 hours of pretty much finding this area and then constantly mining for 2.5 hours. So I think I'm going to take a break. Happy Sunday, 6th of August, guys. It is the next day, and we are now going to get back to work on finishing up the entranceway. Now, I've taken a long, hard look at this entranceway, and I've done a little bit of work this morning. As you can see, we've tried to vary the texture a bit, but something still feels a bit off. I built these kind of like pillar things that extrude out, but something still felt a bit off, and I've realized that the actual top of this tower is actually off alignment. If you look there at the center brick, go up, it's actually built incorrectly. So we're going to go fix that. But at the same time, we're also smelting some more cobble into stone so that we can make some stone brick, because over on the creative world, I actually swapped out all of this cobble for brick, and I actually much preferred the look of it. And we also managed to make some mossy cobble brick in the, well, we just spawned it in on the creative world, and I believe it looked way better dotting about some mossy brick. But obviously we don't have vines just yet, and we can probably find some, but it's not the priority at the moment. So I'm going to go upstairs and I'm going to just do a quick time lapse of me fixing and replacing all of the front facing bricks, and then I will show you guys what it looks like from the ground. So, as you can see, we've actually gone ahead and made some changes, and I actually like this way more than before. I think the cobblestone, I mean, this stone is very similar in colour, but the texture is just vastly different to cobble, that it actually makes it just seem more purposeful, and it just seems a bit more industrial. I think it just seems a little bit more purposely built, rather than, you know, using like a cheap cobblestone build. The only thing I think it does need is, on the creative world we did use mossy bricks in like randomly sort of spaced around everywhere, and I do think it sort of added a bit of age to it, but that's maybe something we come back and do again in the future. But for now, we need to just carry on digging this out, because as we discussed earlier, we've got a lot of bricks to mine out in order to get down, all the way down to that open ravine area. So we need to start making some pickaxes and taking this bed with us, so that we can actually start digging it out. So let's see how far we can get on doing that. Okay, so we dug down like a fair way, like a small staircase, to just kind of show where I needed to dig out, and then we've started digging down and digging out the center bit. We still have to dig out these side bits as we go down, but I've realized it's going to take me a long time. So what we actually need to do is we need to think about setting up a bit more of a proactive base just outside of our hall. So what we need to do is we need to go and set up a farm and get some seeds. So I think we make this realistic by actually having a like farmyard area, which isn't completely flat. I feel like dwarfs naturally are going to be more sort of living off meats and things, so I don't think they're going to be too interested in spending a long time in making sure that the land is being able to grow wheat. I don't think that's what dwarfs are known for. I don't think dwarfs, I think they would eat bread with like the beer and things, but I think they would import it in from the humans. I don't think they would grow it themselves. So I'm thinking what we do is we just have like this kind of like messy looking farmyard, and then what I'll do is I'll build a pathway up to it, and that's what I think we do. I don't think we make it too big, because like I said, I don't think dwarves are really into like agriculture. Maybe I'll do a bit more reading up on this, but I don't feel like they're going to be spending too much time. So now that we've planted that wheat, I am scared of that pillager over there, so I'm actually just going to head back towards my base before I get attacked, because I've only got half my hearts, because we haven't been able to grow wheat very much, which is why I decided to work on that farm. It looks like these are now ready, so I'm going to dig these up because we really need the wheat, and then we'll plant these a bit closer just for now, and then I'll move it over once we've got more hearts. It's just obviously with those raiders down there, don't want to die. But I do think for this episode we need to wrap things up, and that's only because I'm going to be busy for the rest of the day, and unfortunately my wife is dragging me out to go to the farm. She has a horse and she needs help as my wife is disabled. So unfortunately I am going to be going and helping my wife for the rest of the days, and unfortunately I won't have much time through the week, because as you guys know, we've actually started a Skyblock series, and I would really recommend that you go and check that out, because Skyblock is completely different. It's still hardcore. I'm going to be doing everything on hardcore on this channel, I believe, but the Skyblock is completely different because it's relying more on my building skills and my game knowledge, and it's really going to help me, I think, improve my building skills and stuff that will transfer over into this world, where we will continue to build our epic Dwarven kingdom. So thank you guys for watching. I really do appreciate the support. It means the world to me. We are closing in, as of this video, we are on 85 subscribers. We are closing in on 100. And I'm going to plan something epic for this world. I want to include all of you subscribers in this world somehow. So I don't know if that's maybe naming an armor stand and making like an army, like a dwarven army that we like maybe put out the front and make it look like an army. I don't know. I'm gonna have a think about it, and I'm gonna have a play around. But what I want to do is that everybody that subscribes, I'm gonna put their name in this world somehow. Even if 1,000 people subscribe, we'll get 1,000 names in this world. Don't know how we're gonna do it, but we will. So thank you for watching. I've been Mike James, also known as Mickey T, and no, not welcome. Goodbye.